Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Meet the Irvine Candidates Forum. My name is Cheer Pan, your MC today. We just had a very pleasant time meeting and hearing from the mayor candidates earlier. Next, we'll be meeting and hearing from the city council candidates. 各位朋友，大家下午好，欢迎大家来到尔湾华人问政会。我是今天的主持人潘琪儿。我们在上一场的问政会中已经听到了4位市长候选人的介绍以及答辩。下面这一场是市议员候选人的问政会。In the forum, each candidate will have 2 minutes to introduce him or herself, 60 seconds to answer questions which are pre-submitted by the participants, and 2 minutes for his or her closing statement. We will hear a 30-second warning bell like this, and a 10 seconds warning like this. And when your time is up, you will hear this. At this time, if you are not a candidate for the Councilman Candidate Forum, please turn off your camera and remain muted for the entire forum. If you have any questions, please feel free to type it in the chat room. If we have time at the end, we will ask the candidates to address them. 今天的问政会分为3部分。首先，各位候选人各有2分钟的时间介绍自己，之后他们各有1分钟的时间回答我们从您的报名表中收集的问题。最后他们会各自做2分钟的总结陈述。我们会在倒数30秒、10秒以及时间到的时候响铃。现在，请不是候选人的来宾关掉视频以及保持静音。如果您有任何的问题，可以写在 Zoom 的聊天室里面。如果到最后我们有时间的时候，我们会请候选人来作答。那么首先，让我们来先认识一下我们的这些候选人们。Okay, we will now introduce the candidates in the order from the Orange County Register of Voters. And when you hear your name, please wave to the audience. Tammy Kim, Mark Newgent, Lauren Johnson, Christina Dillard, Abigail K, Mike Carroll, Jiang Park, Carrie O'Malley, Yang Liang, Lauren Bratton, I think I'm still missing Laura. Okay, Diana Jiang, Dylan Green, Larry Agran.
I think you are missing.
Okay.
Anshul Garg.
Do I have Laura in the participants?
Are you missing Anshul?
Yeah, she is missing me from her list.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's
Hello,
fine.
Anshul.
Hello.
Can you pronounce your last name for me, please?
Yeah, it is Garg. G-A-R-G, Garg.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting.
Okay. Thank you so much. All right. So here to help us with the process is Ms. Shu Ping Yin. Shu Ping has been a longtime volunteer of the South Coast Chinese Cultural Association. She has been the former PTA president, and she has been the moderator for our Candidates Forum for the past several years. 有请问政会的 moderator 舒平。
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. My name is Shu Ping Yin. As chair introduced, I am a long-term supporter of Irvine Chinese School. My children also went to school there. I'm also a lifetime member of SCCCA. I do not live in Irvine, so I won't be biased when conducting this meeting. So as Chair introduced, we do have a timer. So when you hear the double ding, I will be moving on to the next speaker. And at this point, the speaking order is as Chair called out your name, and that's the order for opening introduction. And at this time, I'd like to start with Ms. Tammy Kim. Please give your opening statement.
你好. Thank you for this opportunity to be here today. Like so many of you, I chose Irvine 15 years ago. I was born in Korea and raised in the East Coast, and like so many immigrants who came in the 1970s, my family worked hard, but we struggled. I was the first person in my family to go to college, and like so many of us here, I understood that access to education was the pathway to opportunity into the American dream. I came out to California and then moved up the corporate ladder, becoming the first Asian American female vice president of talent acquisition for any Fortune 500 technology company. I then invested my resources and founded the Korean American Center, which is right across the street, to address many of the same needs and issues as the Chinese community here in Irvine. And I've had the opportunity to serve in many leadership positions in Irvine, including as finance commissioner for the city of Irvine, appointed by Farrah Khan, on the Education Advisory Council for Assemblywoman Kadi Petrie Norris. And I'm especially proud that I've had the opportunity to work and collaborate with many of the co-sponsors of this forum today to address many of the needs that exist within our diverse community. As chair of the Language Access Committee for the Orange County Register of Voters, I have stood with you to protect and expand language access for voting. As a member of the Irvine Complete Count Committee, I've worked directly with many of you here to ensure that our Asian American community does not lose funding and resources due to an undercount. And I've worked as a steering committee member for the Irvine Global Village Festival to share our culture with Irvine residents. We expect a lot from our leaders, as we should. And as the city has grown, so have our challenges. And I have the experience, the skills, and the passion for public service that will allow me to hit the ground running on day one. Thank you.
All right, next speaker, Mr. Mark Newgent.
Hello, my name is Mark Newgent. My background is 20 years, U.S. Army, military police captain, commander, anti-terrorism officer, and security advisor for the Pacific region, receiving many accolades and awards from setting the gold standard for my security plans in the U.S. Armed Pacific Command to heroic achievement for thwarting a terrorist plan and saving lives while deployed to a hostile environment. Most importantly, I'm a husband and a father of two wonderful children. During this election, people are going to talk about identity politics and race. I always forget that as I'm colorblind. I grew up in a Filipino home in a mixed race family, and now I'm married to an Asian immigrant of Chinese descent. We have been together for 12 years, and our son is 10, and my daughter is 16 from a previous marriage whom my wife cares for as her own. Some say my son may be 50% white or 50% Asian. I say he is 100% my son and love with all my heart. Upon election, my goal is to preserve and enhance Irvine's public safety. I will work to ensure residents are protected by the finest police and firefighting forces and support policies that promote supporting our police and preserving our way of life, improving traffic, improving fiscal responsibility and lower taxes, open and honest communications with the public, smart growth and development, positive relationship with Irvine schools for safety and reduce overcrowding, recruiting and retaining quality police and city employees, avoid centralization of power and keeping decisions making local, exposing and investigating corruption wherever we find it. The first time I deployed, I was 21 years old. I threw a rifle over my shoulder and boarded a plane to go to combat in a place I never heard of for people I didn't even know. Just imagine how hard I worked for my community, my friends, and my family. I served our country for 20 years. Let me serve Irvine for the next 4. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Ms. Lauren Johnson.
Good afternoon. My name is Lauren Johnson Norris. I'm a mother to twin 7-year-old girls, an attorney, an Irvine Community Services Commissioner and former chair, and the chair of the Irvine Children, Youth, and Family Advisory Committee. I'm running for City Council to build on what is amazing about this beautiful community and work to fix the complex problems that we see ahead. I've spent my entire career as an attorney fighting for families, and I'm running for City Council to bring positive change to Irvine and stand up for working families against special interests. My priorities are simple: keep Irvine residents safe and our small businesses thriving, make sure every family succeeds, and plan for a future using the best policies rooted in science that are available to us. We also need something else right now in Irvine, and that is leadership. And I stand with you and our diverse residents for inclusion and to bring more voices to the table in all of the 70+ languages that are spoken in our city. I will work with anyone and everyone on the council and in the community to improve the lives of our residents. I believe in collaboration, communication, and that we can do more together than apart. I'm honored to have received the endorsements of State Treasurer Fiona Ma and Controller Betty Yee, as well as many local, state, and federal elected officials. And it will be my honor to continue to serve in this city as your next Irvine City Council member. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next one is Ms. Christina Dillard.
Hi guys. Okay, so I'm just gonna start, right away. I'm Christina Dillard. I'm 24, rather young, I know, but not the youngest. I am a single mom of one son. He is almost 3. I'm so excited. I'm running for City Council strictly because there's a lot that goes on in the city that doesn't speak for me. There's a lot of people that don't speak for me, or a lot of the demographics that I fall in, being a single mom, being adopted, and being kind of, Black. So I definitely want to make that difference in this community and make that difference in this council. I have already put forth a lot of grand ideas. I mean, you can take the time to listen to me and read about them. You can ask me all the questions you want. Everything is posted. I run a 100% clean campaign. That's why I'm considering myself Irvine's clean slate. I do support Abigail, and that I do support everybody being able to have their voice and speak and being a part of this community. First of all, I think our city council is way too small as it is. And that way it's easier to shut out those demographics that aren't spoken for. And I'm all about connecting and building the bridges between these communities that are broken. I'm a firm believer in opening those lines of communication, as I have done so with our Irvine Police Department, and I've done so with many city council members as well, or at least the ones that are willing to reach back. And so thank you for those that do. And so overall, you guys, I'm really excited to be here, and thank everyone for being here. And I just can't wait to, get this started and go.
Thank you. Next one, Ms. Abigail Paul.
Hello.
Oh, continue.
I'm sorry, my mic's not broken. That is what it looks like when someone is listening to you. I don't think that happens enough in our government. Politicians don't make enough time to listen to the people that live in this city. It's great to have ideas to better our community, but if our leaders do not listen to how such plans impact us living there, then what's the point? My name's Abigail Pohl. I'm also an Irvine City Council candidate this election cycle. I'm running because the Veterans Cemetery, for whatever reason, has not been built. I am also running because I want the various voices from communities that make up a large part of the Irvine population to be heard. I want to be the person that every resident of this city can reach out to in order to have their needs met. I also support Christina Dillard for City Council, as her vision of the future is beautiful and would be marvelous for any Irvine resident. That's all the time I would like to use for my opening. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Mr. Mike Carroll.
Oh, thank you, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Is the sound working?
Yes, I can
Okay,
hear
great.
you.
Thank you. Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Well, thank you. It's a real honor and privilege to be able to be part of this candidates forum. I want to thank you, our host, our moderator, Mike Chen, Yulon, SCCCA, and of course, Irvine Chinese School for being such an incredible community asset. I see that we have over 140 people here on this Candidates Forum, this Zoom forum, and it's been a very difficult time with the City Council handling COVID, and this organization's been a wonderful resource and has provided leadership, and we thank you for that. As you know, I'm your vice mayor, and I am currently your city council member. Previously, I volunteered much of my time for community nonprofit organizations. I was the president of my school foundation, Vista Verde K-8 school. I was the vice chairman of the Planning Commission. And prior to that, I was also the chair of the Parks and Recreation Commission. Since I've been on the city council as your vice mayor and council member, really no other city council in the history of Irvine has been tested with these great challenges. And before those challenges hit, there were a lot of accomplishments in the last year and a half. For one, we saved the Great Park Balloon. I worked on funding, restoring funding to in-need seniors in memory care, and saved funding for the Irvine Public Schools Foundation. We established a 2-year balanced budget, and also I worked on establishing signage for open space and for our Irvine Historical Society. Since COVID-19 has hit, it's been, obviously unprecedented, and it's really affected us in so many different ways. And I get asked, what have I worked on? What have been the things that you've been doing? And it's really been twofold. The first is just providing accurate, detailed information in a timely basis to our residents and helping where I can. So we've been serving residents everything from Meals on Wheels for our at-risk seniors, small business relief programs, and proud to have established our first citywide COVID-19 testing program. And I look forward to speaking with you. Thank you.
Next speaker, thank you. Next speaker, Mr. Jiang Park.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for joining us virtually in this crazy world that we're in. My name is John Park, your candidate for Irvine City Council. These 2 minutes go pretty fast, so I thought I'd offer up a few things first. First is my cell phone number. It's 949-508-0442. Please call me with any questions. I try to pick up. If I don't, leave a message. I'll be sure to get back with you. My website is votejohnpark.com, and you can go to the site and learn much more about me, my background, as well as what I have planned, hopefully, for the city. And, whenever I'm in front of a Chinese American audience, I have a Chinese Cambodian wife, and I ask her, should I say something in Chinese? And I get the same advice every single time, which is don't even try it. So I won't. I want to thank the South Coast Cultural Center, and of course, all the associations that were involved in sponsoring this event. I especially want to shout out to the Rotary Club of OC, which I am a charter member of. So a little about me. We've been here 21 years. My wife and I came here as young professionals. Quite frankly, we thought we'd only be here for a couple of years, but 3 kids later, here we are, all attending public schools. And in the city, I'm a finance commissioner. I sit on the Mayor's Advisory Committee. I've been a PTO member, former HOA president, and of course, an active Rotarian. My background is really in business. Grew up in corporate America, held a couple of VP and sales and marketing positions, have owned the company for the last 16 years. And my goal is very simple. My goal is to preserve and protect our Irvine way of life. And I'll be talking more about that today. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Ms. Carrie O'Malley.
Thank you. Thank you for hosting and having us here today. A shout out to the Chinese Cultural Center and to all the sponsors. Thank you very much. I'm Carrie O'Malley. I'm a native Southern Californian, born and raised in the Los Angeles area. I attended UC Santa Barbara, where I have 2 degrees, and then I attended Harvard Law School. My husband and I, when we got married, we decided to move to Irvine. We have been here over 22 years and have raised our family here. We have 2 teenage children, and we've been a part of this community from day one. We are involved with every aspect of Irvine, from sports to community service to everything else, and we love the city. The reason I am running are many. Currently, I am vice president of the North Park Homeowners Association, where I've served for 3 terms. I have also been an Irvine Transportation Commissioner, and I've served as chair. And I also serve on the Joyful Child Foundation board in memory of Samantha Runyon, where we work very hard for child safety. I'm also a CASA advocate, helping abused children navigate through the court system. And I've also been involved with many nonprofits and many other committees. I am running for many, many reasons. First off, I am running to represent all of you with inclusivity, kindness, and respect for all. This is of utmost importance for me. I have a public policy background. I currently work for the California State Assembly as a district director. I have also worked at the Orange County Board of Supervisors for many years as a senior policy advisor, and I've worked at the Orange County Transportation Authority. I will hit the ground running on day 1, utilizing my public policy expertise, and I look forward to serving each and every one of you. I have an open door policy and look forward to serving everybody. My cell phone number is 714-875-1284, and I have a history of having an open door policy and being your resource and your advocate. I will continue doing this when I'm on the City Council. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Mr. Yang Liang. We can't hear you. No sound.
Okay. Hi, everyone. How are you doing? So I'm so excited, you know, and I never dreamed that I will run for office. And, you know, I really want to run for it because I have the passion. I have so much passion to run for office, especially start with the cities. And then I'm very active person. Okay. My background is I was a retired Army Master Sergeant with 27 years service. And then now I'm currently working with the census as a census field manager. Let's start with there. Make sure everyone fill out their census form because that will help the communities. And then I have 2 girls. We moved to Irvine for education because Irvine is a beautiful place. It's lots, safety, and other stuff. So much good things about Irvine. I'm running for is because I want to keep Irvine the best place. I want to improve Irvine, that make Irvine continue to be safe, continue to be great. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Ms. Laura Bratton.
Hello all, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me come late. Sorry, my father-in-law passed away from COVID and today is his memorial and he was in the military, so we just did that. So thank you for your condolences, people that emailed me separately. But moving forward, my name is Laura Bratton and I've been an 18-year resident of Irvine. I raised my daughter here. I am currently engaged to the man of my dreams that I went to college with 22 years ago. I am working on my 2nd master's degree and as an MFT, marriage family therapist. And I'm also a family manager, meaning I do everything for my family. So if you're a CEO or the president, I do the same thing at home. Anyhow, the reason why I wanted to run, because I wanted to assure the people of Irvine, I am tired of us not having clean air. When I moved here, we had clean air. It was a privilege to live here. We didn't have all these trucks coming in and out of Irvine. We lived in a beautiful bubble. And yes, we had our problems, and those problems need to be dealt with now. And everyone that's running, I commend you, and I want the people to vote for their best candidate. But at the same time, I don't care who's endorsing you. I am here for we the people. And we the people are tired of what's going on right now. We have a homelessness problem in Irvine that we did not have 10 years ago or 5 years ago, but we have one right now, and that needs to be dealt with. We have a police problem in Irvine that was there 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and it's here now. And the people that are in office right now, God bless you and I commend you, but it did not get resolved on your watch. And it needs to be resolved in a bipartisan watch. And that means everyone. So I'm here for we the people. And my name is Laura Bratton, and my phone number is 949-394-7876.
Next speaker is Miss Diana Jiang.
Hi, 大家下午好，我的名字叫蒋丹，感觉非常荣幸，非常感恩能在这里与大家见面。My name is Diana Jiang. It's my honor to have an opportunity to meet you all here. Irvine is the city my husband and I call home for more than 25 years. Our kids attend public school here. My son attends Artwood, Lakeside, Irvine High. Now he's a UCI student. My daughter attends Artwood, East Shore, Venture. Now she is a student in University High School. We have made many friends here and we love our community. I enjoy our outdoor space, juggling, hiking, tennis, and photograph. Raising family in such wonderful neighborhood has inspired me to giving back and serve more. I will work to preserve and improve our great city. As a community volunteer, I have been a soccer mom, swimming team mom, and tennis team mom. I've co-chaired Irvine Children, Youth, and Family Advisory Committee. I'm also a member of UCI Social Science Leadership Society, addressing veterans issue, disability service, and entrepreneurship within our community. Professionally, I earned a master's degree in engineering and has been building and driving highly successful software development teams. Technology has many applications to successful running a city with both. Results don't just happen. They take a significant input, collaboration, planning, and execution to achieve desired outcomes. So as your city council member, I will fight to keep our community healthy and safe, keep public safety funded with a diversity training and community engagement, identify, adopt efficiency to reduce cost. For more details, please visit Dana.
Next speaker, Mr. Dalen Green.
Hello, everybody. First off, I'd like to thank everybody who put this together. I'm very excited to be here. My name is Dylan Green. I have been a part of the city for 16 years. I went to elementary school here, I went to middle school here, I went to high school here, I went to undergrad here, and now I'm back for my graduate degree. I have not left this city in 16 years. During that time, I have dedicated myself to helping the city with compassion and empathy. If you had a student who attended Green Tree, Alderwood, or College Park in the past 4 years, or West Park in the past 10, you've probably seen me helping out. I am always there helping with musical and student productions. I have umpired in the city for 12 years. If you had a kid who played baseball, you've probably also seen me around. Throughout my time, I have dedicated my free time to helping this city, and I intend to do that now in the biggest way possible, which is as a council member, which is why I'm running. A core tenet of my campaign is transparency. I believe that people should know everything about everyone who is running. So far, from my count, I am the only candidate who has linked all of my candidate filings on my website. You can go there and see how much I make. I have disclosed everything as we are required to do as candidates. I am always happy to hear from people. Like I said, I try to lead with compassion and empathy, and I have never in my life said no to helping someone. If there is someone out there who has ideas that they want implemented on the council, if they have ideas for my campaign, please, please reach out. I love to hear from everybody. I love helping. My mother says it is a problem sometimes that I help so many people, but I got it from her, so it runs in the family. So my website, if you would like to reach out, is greenforirvine.com. Please reach out, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next speaker, Mr. Anshul Garg.
Okay, so I unmuted myself. Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. First of all, I would like to thank you, all the candidates out here, and the South Coast Chinese Cultural Center for inviting me and the rest of the people for this forum. So I will start with my name. My name is Anshul Garg. I'm a long Irvine resident since 2002, which is about 18 years in Irvine, but rather I'm an immigrant from India who came in 1998. And I am living in Irvine. I have lived in Irvine many locations with my wife and two beautiful daughters, and they have grown here. I'm the co-founder of a Montessori school along with my wife, who's an educator, and from UCI, she has done her certification. A short background of mine is I hold a degree of bachelor's and master's of arts and nearly 28 years experience in multiple industries, mainly banking and IT. And I have been a person with just go and get started as I can. So in the IT industry, I have been in about 23 years. I have started as a developer. Most of the people might know developer is a coder who write Java, whatnot. And I reached to the vice president level in the company. It is about a $30 million company. I have been involved in many volunteer organizations like Community Emergency Response Team, Community Police Academy, Lakeview Senior Center, and Irvine Temple also. I am committed to be transparent on all fronts. Irvine is one of the safest cities.
Thank you. Next speaker, Mr. Larry Agran.
Thank you. And I want to thank the South Coast Chinese Cultural Association and all those who pulled together this candidate forum. I appreciate that. I am a former mayor and council member in the city of Irvine. And indeed, I was present for the groundbreaking for the South Coast Chinese Cultural Center in, I believe it was the year 2000 at the time that the groundbreaking took place. I helped broker the land transaction with the Irvine Company to make it possible for this remarkable institution to be part of our growing, diverse community. Having served on the city council and as mayor some while ago, I lent my skills to building this city as a public interest attorney, as someone who had attended the University of California and graduated from Harvard Law School. My wife and I moved to Irvine because she was accepted among one of the first classes with substantial numbers of women. She was accepted to UC Irvine Medical School. We have lived here ever since. My wife is a continuing practicing attorney. I want to return, she's a continuing practicing physician. I want to return to the city council to deal with some of the problems that exist in our city. We are all, of course, consumed by the COVID crisis. Our city is unprepared. Our city's response is deplorable. It is lacking in every respect. We need to change that. And I want to speak to you about other issues where the mayor and council have shortchanged the public as well.
Thank you everyone for your opening statement. We now move to question and answer. This time we're gonna do this a little bit differently because we have a large group, and I will be calling your name randomly. And so let's begin with the first question. What special character traits, training, preparation, or skills do you possess that make you especially qualified for city council? First person to answer, Ms. Tammy Kim.
Yes, hi. And as I mentioned in my introduction, I am a commissioner, finance commissioner for the city of Irvine. I am appointed by Kadi Petrie-Norris for the Education Advisory Council. In my experience as a Fortune 500 executive, I've managed budgets of upwards of $20 million with full P&L profit and loss responsibility. I am deeply entrenched in this community and have worked with a variety of organizations here in Irvine. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker for the same question, Abigail Paul. Miss.
Hello. I think my biggest trait is that I am not a politician. I'm not burdened by the toxic relationships or old ways of thinking. I'm ready and willing to try something new and make Irvine even better. And I'm super excited for the opportunities the city has. And not only that, but I hope that at my base, I'm kind. And with the work I've done in this community through UCI, I hope that my resume speaks for itself. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker for the same question, Mr. Yang Liang. No sound, no sound.
Okay, for me, I think I have the skill, I have the management skill, and throughout my Army career for 27 years, I've been dealing with so many different diversity, soldiers and civilians. So this is the skill I need for your questions. And the passion I have, the Army value I have, I can change for those to the cities.
Thank you. Thank you. We're moving on to second question. What are the top 2 challenges facing the city of Irvine? And what is your plan to face the challenges? First person to answer, Mr. Mike Carroll.
Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, I think that probably the top 2 challenges would be very clear. Number one, it's continuing to deal with the COVID-19 pandemic and to get people back on their feet, to keep people safe, to get people working again, to keep our businesses going again. One of the things that we did that I was happy to provide leadership on was our business disaster relief program, where we were able to fund 506 businesses to reopen, local businesses like donut shops and dry cleaners. And the other thing is we have to work on the fact that we're going to be over $100 million maybe over the next few years in deficit because of the lack of retail tax revenue and hotel tax revenue that we have been seeing as a shortfall. So I think we need real responsible managed leadership on both fronts, fiscal as well as bringing us back from COVID-19. Thank you.
Thank you. The next person to answer this question, same question, is Mr. Jiang Park.
Thank you. This is a good question. You know, of course, the COVID crisis right now, but I'm going to go ahead and take it one step further than that and assume that we will recover from this. And when it's safe to do so, our biggest challenge will be our budget. You know, our fiscal challenges will be monumental. Our tax base right now, largely coming from sales tax, hotel tax, programs and fees. Aside from property tax, all those categories are pretty much dismal. So that'll be the #1 challenge. Number 2 will be maintaining our master plan with that #1 challenge. The village concept, all the amenities, services that we've all come to love about Irvine, so the two challenges are pretty closely tied together.
Thank you. We're now moving on to question number 3. Irvine has been the safest city in the US for many years. If elected, how will you respond to the request for cutting police budgets and reducing police influence in the community? The first person to answer, Mr. Mark Newgent.
This is easy, simple, quick answer. Never, ever defund the police, ever. Thank you.
Next person to answer, Ms. Carrie O'Malley.
Thank you. Public safety is of primary importance to me. I talk about it all the time. I talked about it quite often when I ran in 2018. I support the police. We need to make sure that Irvine remains the safest city of its size, as we have been for 15 years. So I will continue to support the police in their efforts. We can also try to get grants, state, local, federal grants in order to help with those efforts as well, but definitely to support the police in their efforts and to make sure that our community is safe for our youth, for everybody, and to keep growing as far as making sure that our kids are growing up in this wonderful environment. They have a safe education, safe parks, safe schools, and to just make sure that we all come together as a community to support that. So I will continue to support the police. Thank you.
Thank you. We're moving on to next question. What is your position on California Proposition 16? The first person to answer, Ms. Christina Dillard.
Hi, you guys. Can you see me? Oh, I don't know. Okay. I'm not super familiar on Proposition 16. Can you give me the full name of the proposition, please?
This is due to like a Proposition 209. It's California Civil Rights Initiatives.
Okay, so
Constitution of yeah.
No, go ahead. Finish, please.
It's a related.
It would remove
to
affirmative action.
Right.
I don't necessarily agree with removing affirmative action. I think that we need to, like I said, I'm not super versed on Proposition 16, and there are certain things that I'm not versed on versus what I am versed on and what I'm focused on. And so I definitely would look to the experts on that before I would make a sound decision on that, as I am not an expert. And I've already, stated that. As I said, I am not a born bred politician. I am not groomed for this. I am just a citizen. Above all else, I am a single mom in here in Irvine, just trying to make a difference in the ways that she knows best how to. So I would definitely look to the people who are more versed in that field of knowledge before giving you a definitive answer on that one.
Okay, that's fair. Thank you. Same question, Mr. Larry Agran.
Yes, I favor Proposition 16. It's to restore affirmative action so that initiatives can be undertaken to go further in terms of bringing people into the University of California system. This is an opportunity to grow the pie, as I see it, see to it that those that are underrepresented now, principally African Americans and Latinos, are represented in greater numbers. That can be done without squeezing anybody else out. Let's grow the pie for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question. Question number 5. The population of Irvine has increased by a lot in the last few years, which has led to more traffic and street congestion. Do you have any plan to improve this problem? First person to answer, Ms. Laura Johnson-Norris.
Thank you. Well, we have grown rapidly, especially in the northeast end of the city and along Jamboree. And as a result of that, we do have more congestion. I support the Irvine Village model. I also want to make sure that we have schools and childcare to support all of the residents in our family as we grow. The infrastructure in terms of road, public transportation, and law enforcement where our city grows. I do have a transportation plan. It is a green plan. It involves active transportation, public transportation, and our public safety officials to move us forward in the coming years should we continue at this pace. Thank you.
Thank you. Next person to answer the same question, Mr. Dylan Green.
Yes, I have watched the traffic problem become a problem over the past 16 years. My proposal is a temporary stay on new construction, which does not mean stopping construction that is already in progress. And at that point, I plan to commission traffic studies and growth studies and implement their proposals for improving traffic as soon as possible. This is a problem that can be solved by experts and should be solved by experts and should be implemented as soon as possible. Our previous traffic plan was delayed implementation by multiple years, and by the time it was implemented, it was too late to stop the traffic problem.
Thank you. Moving on to our next question. Irvine is the fastest growing cities in America. What challenges do you see as a result of this growth? First person to answer this question, Ms. Laura Bratton.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
I so wanted to answer all the other questions, but I feel like this question is all in one. We need to change the whole infrastructure. When I first moved to Irvine 18 years ago with me and my child, people wanted to live in Irvine. It was a privilege to live here. And it was less traffic, as you mentioned. It was the shopping centers, all these weren't here. It was a lot of undeveloped land that was beautiful, and it allowed us not to have so much traffic. So moving forward, because I feel as though we should have a partisan city council as well as mayor, we didn't all collectively come together in all our ideas. And us brainstorming, we can come up with something that will better the people of Irvine, because all these studies, they don't live in Irvine. I do, and we the people do. So I saw the past 16 to 18 years, 10 years, what's been going on. And its study cannot show that. The people here can.
All right, next person, Ms. Diana Jiang.
So I have been the urban resident about 26 years. I see how the city grows. The number one priority, we need to continue keep the urban to be safe the city in the nation. Meanwhile, we need to have a diversity training and community engagement. We want to continue maintain Irvine as a harmonic, diversified city. That's number one. Number two, how to maintain urban public school education quality the same. As a city council member, I will continue with IUSD to make sure they have enough funding to get enough support to maintain the quality of the public school. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Anshul Garg.
Yes, so based on the question, population is going to increase. And the traffic is going to increase, and everything will look like a shopping mall or something in the whole environment. But this is something which definitely I will work with the city and the right people, because I have it in my candidate statement also, because I have heard from UCI people that they used to, kind of go to home in 5 minutes. Now it takes 30 because of the traffic. So traffic is something definitely is in my list to look at. And the population, we definitely have to think about it. And we cannot have open lands, just because, although they are beautiful, but we have to keep the lands and think about something materialistic to,
All right, thank you. This concludes question and answer. We're moving on to closing statement. We'll begin. Closing statement is 2 minutes. We'll start with the same order of opening statement. Ms. Tammy Kim, please begin.
Yes. So my immigrant experience and the work that I've done as a corporate executive, as a community advocate, as a social entrepreneur, and as a mom has provided a worldview that intersects in so many ways with my civic engagement here in Irvine. And I'm running for city council to give back to our community and to ensure a bright and sustainable future for Irvine. I believe our city council should reflect and uphold a bold vision, a city that is well-planned, innovative, sustainable, and supports a high quality of life for everyone. I'll bring a global perspective and a bold vision. And when elected, I will ensure that Irvine leads the way on social justice, environmental protection, access to affordable housing, economic opportunities, public safety, strong educational opportunities, and respect for diversity. And you deserve a representative on the city council with a proven track record of working across all cultures with an eye on the future, and someone who will build on Irvine's profile as a city of innovation. We need leaders with integrity who value transparency while serving the public interest. And I am proud to be endorsed by Congresswoman Katie Porter, California State Controller Betty Yee, Congressman Ted Lieu, Congresswoman Judy Chu, who is the head of the Congressional API Caucus, and the chair of the California State Asian Legislative Caucus, David Chow, and former Irvine mayors Beth Crom and Suki Kang. I remind you that voting is in October 5th, and I would be honored to have your vote. And when elected, I look forward to continuing partnership with the Chinese community.
Next speaker, Mr. Mark Nugent.
Hello, how's it going? So thank you guys for holding this forum. I appreciate all the planning effort it takes to get all the candidates together, even when sometimes our schedules don't really work out. And if you guys want my phone number, just Google it. If you need anything, have any questions, give me a call. I'd like you guys to remember, a vote for me is a vote for someone who will fight and who has fought for you to protect and preserve our way of life. As a reminder, I actually retired very young, so I have lots of time to do what needs to be done for all of us. I already served as city commissioner, mayor's advisory committee, county commissioner, so I have a good broad experience of what needs to get done. I am a homeowner in Irvine. Irvine is my home for life, so let's keep Irvine Irvine. I want to keep Irvine safe for my children as well as yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Ms. Lauren Johnson Norris.
Thank you so much. Now, we are facing the most challenging time our city has ever faced. We don't have time for elected officials to argue and grandstand while we face a true pandemic, an economic crisis, and we need to collaborate and communicate with each other to be able to solve these problems. I have a passion for putting our residents before special interests or any other interests. I have a proven track record as a city commissioner, a committee member, as well as an attorney and a small business owner, for fighting for diverse families and working with everyone to get things done. The safety and security of your families is my #1 priority, and I am the only candidate running with the track record of fighting for you and your families my entire career. I will work tirelessly with our diverse community and be ready to do a great job for you on day one, and I'd be honored to earn your vote. Again, it's Lauren Johnson Norris, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Next speaker, Ms. Christina Dillard.
Hi guys. I just want to say that endorsements don't matter. Making a difference in Irvine matters to me. What the people have to say matter to me. There's such a lack of diversity in Irvine, and it's okay that a lot of people don't see it. That's understandable because some people aren't on that aspect of it, or don't draw that short stick. but I've drawn that short stick more than once being here in Irvine. So in the short amount of time, a year that I've lived here in Irvine, but I have lived in Orange County my whole life. So therefore, I am able to say that I have seen more than just my small circle here of Irvine and know the real issues that we are facing. We are facing issues beyond what we perform here, what we put out here. We have issues of just self-sustainability as a city. We have issues beyond what most of you can think about. And I'm sorry for, not knowing everything that, about Proposition 16. No, I don't support Prop 16. And so, I support, equality. I've had my own racist experiences here in Irvine, and I work really hard to try to draw, be past that, grow past that, and not let that jade me or bitter me. It's great to see another Black candidate here on this forum. My face lit up, you guys. I was so excited. So it's just an honor to be here, and it's an honor to just try to, speak for you guys and vote for your best candidate. It might not be me, but that's okay. That's fine. I'm somebody else's best candidate, and that's what I'm here for. I'm here to give you the choice. I'm sorry, that's my son in the background, single mom, you guys, love that life. And so I'm here to give you that choice, that clean slate, that clean choice that you don't have to go with the Democrat or the Republican or this or that. You have options, you guys, and I'm here to be that option that hears you, sees you, feels you. Please, Christina Dillard, Dillard for diversity, Dillard for Irvine. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Next speaker, Ms. Abigail Paul.
Hello. Once again, I hope everyone watching and listening is registered to vote. I hope all of you evaluate the candidates on what you believe their willingness to serve you and your communities are. I hope that I earn your trust by making it a point to listen to your concerns and your needs, and working with everyone in the community to make Irvine an even better city than it already is. We live in extremely uncertain times, and we will rely on our local government and each other more than ever. The status quo has gotten us to where we are, and I want to leave you with the thought that a politician some of you might be old enough to remember asked, "Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago?" If you aren't, then maybe it's time to vote for a new voice and a brighter, bolder version of our city's future. I know my answers have been short, but I do not have the patience for puffery. I believe that the words have power, and I will not waste your time on meaningless pleasantries, especially when the pressing issues happening in our community affect us all. Thank you for listening to my platform. My number is 949-202-5691. Thank you, South Coast Chinese Cultural Association, for having me today, and thank you everyone for listening. I look forward to hearing more from you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Mr. Mike Carroll.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you, SCCCA, for hosting this candidate forum. My wife and I love raising our young family here in Irvine. We have a small business here, and we strongly support Irvine Unified Public Schools. We take public service very seriously in the Carroll family. My wife is actually finishing up as president of the Irvine Unified School Board. It's been the honor of my life to serve as your vice mayor and as a council member at the city of Irvine. Since joining the city council, I've delivered results for you. During the COVID-19 pandemic, I've worked to protect Irvine and assist residents. I basically was the driving force behind Orange County's first COVID-19 testing program sponsored by a city. We've put together meals and prescription deliveries and delivered over 70,000 meals to Irvine seniors and people in need and at-risk populations in our city. We've put together monetary grants for 506 small local businesses to get Irvine moving again and get businesses open again. And we provide financial relief and affordability for homeowners and renters as well. I've held personally over 20 town halls, online and in person before COVID-19, and helped hundreds of people during the COVID-19 pandemic to get residents the help that they need. And if I'm honored to be elected by you to be on the Irvine City Council, I'll continue fighting for you. And we'll provide Irvine police with what they need to ensure that Irvine continues to be the safest city in the United States of America. And I'm proud to note that I am the candidate that is endorsed at this forum among everyone else. I am the only candidate endorsed by the Irvine Police Association. Thank you very much, and I hope to have your vote.
Thank you. Next, pardon me. Next speaker, Mr. Jiang Park.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. South Coast Cultural Center, everyone else. Nice to see you, fellow candidates. I know many of you, but new faces also too. And so it's nice to see you. So what's my campaign about? I thought about this, and I think it's about hope and it's about action. Hope that the stores are open again, the businesses will open again, the playgrounds will open again, our entering seniors will get a graduation. We won't have to wipe down our groceries, and hope that we won't be freaked out when somebody hands you a pen to sign something. It will get better. I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic that we will return to the old normal. The other is action. Hope is not enough. We need action. We need to develop a plan, execute so that we can reopen and thrive when it's safe to do so. With my experience in business, my track record of success in dealing with these kinds of matters, I would offer myself to you as a candidate who is the right candidate at the right time. So I promise with us together, we will make Irvine stronger than before, and we will thrive again as a city. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next speaker, Ms. Carrie O'Malley.
Thank you. Again, thank you to all the hosts and all the attendees. We truly appreciate your time. Again, I am running on inclusivity, kindness, and respect for all. I am running an all-inclusive campaign. I have been here in Irvine for 22 years as an original homeowner in North Park. I serve you in the city. I was a former commissioner, transportation commissioner chair. I'm currently on the HOA of North Park, serving my residents and my fellow citizens and residents of Irvine. And I look forward to serving you as well on the city council. Again, my campaign has many focuses. I want to preserve and protect our Irvine neighborhoods, our villages, our master plan, and our open space that we all enjoy on a daily basis. I want to strengthen our city's healthcare advocacy and education, and especially partner with the local healthcare providers in our city and adjacent cities. I want to ensure that Irvine continues to bolster top-notch education opportunities for our youth and innovative learning, which is so important. I want to work with our small businesses and advocate for them as well. I want to help our senior community, our seniors, and prevent isolationism, and really prevent isolationism of anyone, because that is at the root of so many problems. So really working with our youth, our teenagers, our school-age children, all the way through to our senior community to prevent isolationism. I want to ensure that Irvine remains the safest city in the United States as it has been, and we've been so blessed. I want to promote our city's fiscal soundness and all the things that we look to in Irvine that we are so blessed to have on a daily basis. I want to use my expertise in public policy to serve you. Again, I have a very high work ethic. I am diligent, I am committed, and I will work for you each and every day. I have a professional expertise in public policy. I know how to get things done, and I've worked at the state and local level for decades. Again, I look forward to earning your vote.
Right, next speaker. Next speaker, Ms. Yang Liang. Please unmute your speaker. No sound, unmute.
Okay, realize that I just gained a lot of experience and knowledge by listening to all my other candidates. Thank you. And also I thank you for everybody. And remember, I'm not a debater. I'm not a great debater, but I will do my best. You will find out in the near future. If you elect me, I will do the job. Trust me, I will do the job. My 27 years service will tell you what a person I am. I'm honest, okay? I work with people. I work with everyone, the mayor, the candidate, the other city councilors, everybody else. I will work with them. And My family supports me. And now I want everyone out there to support me. Only when you support me, then I can do the job. If you don't support me, I won't get the job. I won't be able to do the job for you. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Miss Laura Bratton.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
we can hear you.
Thank you, sorry. I just want to say a vote for Laura Bratton is a vote for diversity, is a vote for good change, for positivity. It's a vote for a new way of thinking. I know I'm very passionate, and as you can see when the other candidates are speaking, it's not that I disagree, it's just there's degrees to things. I am for the police. We should all have the police. We may need the police one day in our lives. But at the same time, a police with a $100 million budget that can do whatever they want to do with no accountability is a problem. A place that I lived and wanted to live here since I was a little girl and raised my child here, turned from a community where I can breathe normally because I have asthma. Now I have to have a purifier in my home. That's a problem. And into all the beautiful and wonderful candidates that are the mayor and city council right now, these are issues that they're continuous problems. Homelessness. I have no problem with homeless people. I have no problem with anyone, but they need to be home. They need to be housed. There needs to be something implemented to where our children, our grandchildren can walk to the store without people asking them for money. So we need to do something about that. So I'm talking about real issues, not about who's endorsing me. I don't care who's endorsing anybody, because we've had tremendous issues in Irvine that have been going on, regardless if you're endorsed by the police commission or the Democratic Party. None of that matters. What matters are the people that live here and the things that we go through every day that need to be discussed amongst all of us. Not just one person can answer all these questions. We have to all come together collectively. My name is Laura Bratton. A vote for me is a vote for bipartisan. Laura Bratton, the #1@gmail.com.
Next speaker.
Thank you very much.
Miss Diana Jiang.
Hi, really appreciate the opportunity to talk with you guys. And my campaign website is dianaforirvine.com. This year we have 14 candidates running for city council. I'm the only candidate who put priority keep public safety funded with a diversity training and community engagement on the ballot. I'm the only candidate who put our priority identify and adopt efficiency to reduce costs on the ballot. Modern technology for better Irvine. For years, I've seen it's not easy for working family and individuals to voice out their concern in these city council meetings. City council meetings are often held after normal working hours and last a couple hours. During those meetings, probably 20 or 30 residents show up in the meeting. Those residents' voice looks like present our whole community, which may not be the case. We could provide smartphone application so that our residents can video conference in to have their voice heard in the city council meeting when they are on the home. In the app, residents can also set up alert to receive city council voting results. Another example is a location-based software. Our residents can use location-based software to find out nearby city construction status, when it starts, when the project will finish, and how much taxpayer residents has paid for it. During pandemic's time, our senior people's life is in danger, our business suffer. And today I'm making following announcement. If I'm elected, I will only take $1 city council member salary. The rest of salary will be donated to senior center and the public school. I'm the candidate taking real action through this difficult time to stay together with our friends, stay together with our neighbors, stay together with our business, and stay together with our city. It's my honor to represent you.
Thank you. Thank you. Next speaker, Mr. Dalen Green.
Look, it's time for a change in Irvine. I am the foremost product of Irvine out of all our candidates. I have been here since I was 7. I have seen everything that has happened in Irvine for 16 years through the eyes of multiple age groups, and I think I can represent all of those effectively. I am running an issue-first campaign. My motto is that when the ocean rises, all the boats on it rise together. If we work together, we can succeed together. I did not get a lot of time to talk about my policy positions, but I have an incredibly detailed, as far as I know, the most detailed website on my policy positions. Please go there. I will be updating it continuously throughout the cycle, including tonight, where I will include written, extensive answers to every question answered in the panel today, because I did not get an answer to all of them. I also am promoting transparency, starting with my campaign. I will promote transparency on the city council, but it begins with me. I am linking all of my candidate submissions, my filings on my website so that you can browse them at your leisure. I encourage you to do your research. Do not take anything anyone says at face value. I speak my mind and I am honest and I'm true. I promote transparency, again, starting with me. I am already doing what I claim to do on the city council, and that's why you should vote for me. My website is greenforirvine.com, G-R-E-E-N, forirvine.com. If you'd like to reach out, please, please, I'm always looking for more things that the citizens of Irvine want represented on their city council. Dylan at greenforirvine.com. Very, very easy to remember. Again, I want to thank everybody for putting this together today. I hope I have earned your vote today, but please check out my website for my policy positions in more detail. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Mr. Anshul Garg.
Hello, everyone, and I would like to take the opportunity to congratulate all the candidates here. And, you know, it's what I was saying earlier in the initial 2 minutes. I am actually, you know, very much fond of self-dignity, which, you know, converts to the transparency. And yes, I am new, but I have the experience of thinking out of the box, and I do not want to listen about, you know, where the grants are going, but if I come, I would have that transparency to show you where anything is going. Along that line, I would also say, you know, the strong law enforcement is a safe neighborhood. That is kind of goes along together, as Mark said earlier. And I would definitely like to talk about a little bit on the COVID-19. So I have been volunteering with a couple of, you know, community organizations like Community Emergency Response Team, Community Police Academy, and they have, you know, trained us for the pandemics, or not pandemics, but like earthquakes. But this new pandemic has caught us all, and we just have to find new ways, because this is going to be the new normal. So we can complain about it, but you know, we just have to find out more to think how we can get away with this, how we can have our students be safe, and if the colleges are open. So everything goes hand in hand. I would say I would definitely work to improve the city as much as I can. And I have given my site, anshulgarg.org. Please call me. And
thank you. Thank you. Next speaker, Mr. Larry Agran.
Thank you very much. We need to, in my judgment, take the opportunity to elect a new mayor and a new city council here in Irvine. We need to do that because the current mayor and city council have failed us, failed to protect us in light of the COVID-19 pandemic. It is now 6 months into this pandemic, and we still, at this point, have no public health department. We have no chief health officer. We have nothing in the way of a comprehensive plan to combat the virus and protect Irvine residents and businesses. I'll tell you this, if I'm elected to the City Council, that will change and change fast. Ours is a community blessed with resources, that we are falling so far short in protecting our residents and businesses is really an indictment of the lack of leadership that we have right now. We need to restore leadership to the City Council, not only for purposes of health and safety, but also to restore a commitment to master planning that will make all the difference in our city's future. Irvine is known for its master planning. Let's rediscover how we can control growth, development, and guide the city into the future, exercising the authority that is available to the mayor and council members. To learn more about my campaign and the issues involved, please contact LarryAgran.com. Thank you again.
Thank you, everyone. Now concludes City Council members session. MC, please take it over.
Okay, thank you so much, Shuping, for being our moderator for today. And I also would like to take the opportunity to thank all the candidates for participating, for joining today's forum. We really enjoyed all of your passions and all of the sharings that you have given us. And if any of our members and also the residents of Irvine would like to learn more about these candidates, please feel free to go to our website, which their statements are listed on the links is listed on our homepage. Our website is www.sccca.org. 那么我们今天呢，非常感谢所有的市议员候选人的介绍以及他们的答辩。我们祝他们一切顺利。如果大家想知道他们更多有关他们的信息，以及知道他们的政见，可以到我们南海岸中华文化中心的网站，是 www.sccca.org。那么我们要在这里提醒大家呢。明天在早上11点的时候，我们会进行教育委员会候选人的问政会，还是用同样的 Zoom ID 以及密码。那么我们希望明天也会在这里见到您。Okay, we would like to remind you that the forum for the Board of Education candidates is tomorrow at 11 a.m. And we would like to see everyone again tomorrow. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us either on our Facebook, or you can type your questions in the chat room. Okay, thank you again, and we want to thank all the participants as well as all the co-organizers for making today's forum possible. Again, thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.